What's up, friends? Another episode 70, Sammy and Marissa's husbands. We are back. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Um, it's the 23rd right now, 24th when you're listening, February coming to a close. We'll go over the agenda a little bit. We'll talk kind of our lives of recent athlete segment, some kind of challenge that we talked about with Tyler last week on the pod. We'll kind of go over that stuff. We were thinking about doing a draft. Honestly, not sure if we're doing a draft because we probably should have talked about that before we started. Talk some sports, random cues, Pat's peeves, and we're going to do a quote of the week and then closing comments. So, what's been up?
Well, big yawn. Um, Me and Marissa went to a stand-up show last night at Dead Crow Comedy. It was good. I'd seen him before. It's Cam Patterson. He's he's been on some like popular podcasts and stuff. He's hilarious.
The black dude from Kill Tony.
Yes.
Yeah, that dude's funny.
Yeah. There were I think there's another guy on there who was also on Kill Tony for like a famous joke where he talks about if he has a daughter, she's got to stay a daughter. Not because he's against transgenders, but if anybody's getting a new dick in his house, it's him.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That's Cam Patterson, or that's the other guy?
that was the other guy. And then
Okay.
there was the MC, and then there was an opener, and then Cam Patterson. It was a good show.
Yeah, comedy shows are fun. Cam Patterson would be funny to see. He seems like a, you know, not big name person, obviously, but big enough name that like I knew who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he's going to be really famous in the next couple years.
Yeah. He's got the right like energy.
And I've seen him twice. So
Oh wow.
he was the opener for somebody last year, and now
Very
he's
cool.
headlining.
Very cool. Dead Crow's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, it was really fun. Um, I'm not drinking right now, just in solidarity with Marissa because she's not drinking right now.
Cool.
So I had an IPNA.
That's super, you know what I want to say.
Yeah, yeah, it did not taste great.
Yeah. Just get a water, dude.
I uh I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, so my point, like my thing about that is right, you're not drinking. We get why, but like you're saving calories or whatever, but then you drink the calories for
Yeah,
something that doesn't do anything for you.
exactly.
That was literally a waste of probably $6.
It was $5. So yeah, it was a waste of $5.
A crisp Lincoln you just lit on fire.
Yep.
Hey, whatever works for you, man. I hope hope you enjoyed it.
Pretty cool, man.
What else? What else you get into?
I've been trying to sell my car, so that's been going annoyingly.
Which one? Lexi?
No, no, the Veracruz.
Gotcha.
So we have three cars.
Big money.
There's there's just no reason.
No, you don't need three cars. You don't need three cars. Did you take the trash out of it?
Perfectly clean car.
So you put the trash from that car into Lexi?
No, no, no. There's no trash going in the Lexus. That
Okay.
thing is it's trash is on my back porch.
Okay. All right. That's fair. You just instead of throwing it away, we just move it from one place to another.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have time to go through it.
Right. Of course.
Probably should have just took it all out of the car and put it into the dumpster.
Yeah. Yeah, that probably where it belongs.
And we've been watching this show called Severance. We've watched 8 episodes since Thursday.
I've
It's
heard good things about Severance.
it's really good. It's different. It's not like a lot of the shows we watch is like violence. or like superhero show, or it's very different. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, Sam's been talking about it a lot. We just started a show. Well, not just started a show. We rewatched Yellowstone. We're rewatching it right now. Jesus, I think I just had a stroke. Um, we started to watch the new season, and Sam was just like, I don't remember anything that happened, which truthfully, I didn't remember a lot of stuff that happened too. So we just decided to start rewatching from episode one. Um, and I forgot how much I like that show.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I get so many. I feel like I've seen everything that happens because I get all the clips on like TikTok.
You haven't watched Yellowstone?
No. Mm-mm.
Really?
Nope.
You should watch Yellowstone. I think you would like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's.
It's
I watched.
slow. It's slow moving.
I watched the first episode and like when they had to like kill the horse because the horse like broke its leg.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah, it's not for me.
It's a good show. It starts slow, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of stuff that you have to figure out about the family and how it works and how he got the land and stuff like that. But it starts to get crazy. Um, I think it's one of my favorite shows for sure. But I mean, me and you just we have different taste in shows, and obviously
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously super popular because I think there's two spin-offs of it.
there are 1923 and 1883,
Yeah.
which I like those two. And Tim McGraw and Faith Hill are in the, I want to say 1883, and he's
Isn't
pretty good.
Harrison Ford one of them?
Harrison Ford is in the 1923 one, which that one was good too. It just got a little weird at the end. Once Africa became involved, and I know you know nothing about it, but it was just a little different once Africa became involved.
Why the hell they go to Africa?
Well, basically, one of the sons
Steel minerals.
steal the Declaration of Independence. No, the son is on some kind of journey. I can't even remember, to be honest. It's been a long time, but one of the sons goes to Africa for a while, and the whole like it goes there. Um, but I wish they would continue those because it's cool to see like how they've made the existing family tree, and I want to know how long he had that idea in place to do those spin-offs from the original show.
Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
I don't know because I feel like a lot of that stuff is you kind of get lucky, like with the Star Wars stuff, how he had the original three, and then he decided he wanted to go back, and you have to use the stuff in the original to kind of like piecemeal it together with the new stuff. So maybe it's something like that. Like he had stuff that was already set in stone in the story, so you kind of had to write how it happens. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he probably got a lot of wiggle room because he was like, let's create a story describing how they got here, kind of deal. And honestly, it's pretty cool to see how it plays out. Um, but this week, typical work week for me, um, we're getting closer to our next cycle starting. So it's kind of been like a lot of, just getting ready, putting things in the right places and making sure everything's squared away for when the students get here. Um, Last weekend, I started a little yard work project, which I thought was going to take me about 45 minutes. And it ended up spanning completely 2 weekends worth of work, um, which is typically how it goes. It was just like I realized in order to do it right, I was going to have to actually put in a lot more effort than I wanted to. So I just ended up doing it. Also, with us about to rent our house out, uh, like we got a lot of stuff to do, and I want the yard and everything to be in good shape when the renters get here, so they'll be hopefully a little more inclined to take care of it. If they get here and it's already shit, it's probably going to stay shit. It might go to shit anyway, but at least they might be a little bit more inclined to do the upkeep associated with it if it's already in good shape. But so yeah, we did a lot of yard work this weekend, went and got drinks last night, and then we came back and all the stuff that I pulled out, we did some bonfires in the backyard, which was pretty nice. I'm getting gutters installed, which uh, broke the bank a little bit, but I think gutters are something that's necessary on a house if you want to keep the longevity, especially with the rainwater running off. And if I just let it keep going, then eventually it's gonna deteriorate some of that soil around the house, and I don't want to
Well,
have foundation issues. You know what I'm saying?
especially if you're on a slab, which you are.
Right.
And I
So
wish my house had gutters.
you don't have gutters?
No,
We don't. There's no gutters at that house.
no. I'm going to
Jesus.
talk to the. I might have to say something to the previous owner about that.
Yeah. What a charge.
Also, I have to talk to the previous owner about not using treated wood on that fence because the fence is deteriorating on one side of the house. But that's a
The f-
story for another time.
yeah, that's a story for another day. Um, well, I will tell you, if you want to get gutters installed, it's going to cost you a pretty penny.
Truthfully, if I was going to do gutters, I would watch a YouTube video and then just get pissed off and do it myself and take a couple months.
Yeah, 30-minute install. Uh,
2 months later.
yeah, I just don't have the time, nor the experience to put gutters in, and I'm sure it's not that fucking complicated. But all in all, just the convenience of being like, hey, do this. They're coming tomorrow and they're going to install them all day. And honestly, it's a good company and they're going to give me a nice product. And with me renting the house out, I want to have something that's going to last, because if I just do like a half-ass install, then in 5 years, I'm going to have to get it all redone anyway.
That's the bullshit. Like you got a fucking new house
Yeah.
and the builders are so cheap they don't want to put gutters in. Like
Yeah.
that just pisses me off.
Honestly, hindsight 2020, um, buying a house, I could have had a lot of wiggle room to be like, hey, I want gutters installed. I want a fence in the backyard. Just add it on to whatever the price of the house is, include it in the loan, and that stuff would have already been done. But this being our first house we bought, I didn't know that we could ask for those things. I thought it was just like, hey, this is what you got. This is what you buy.
Yeah, and that's not to say they would have done that,
They
but you
would
could.
have, because everybody else in the cul-de-sac did that.
Your realtor sucked.
My realtor was ass. I wonder who got her for me.
That's not. She had great reviews, dude. You can't hold that against me.
She sold me the wrong house.
She's not great. Honestly, I should have known better because those are the type of people that write reviews. She probably had 10 of her friends fucking write reviews.
Yeah. And I feel bad because my neighbor right now is getting out of the army and he's starting a property management company. And like, he's one of those guys that can build anything, fix anything. Like, he's just naturally like good with stuff like that. And I'm talking to him today and I was like, yeah, we got this property management company. He's like, dang, dude, you should have hit me up. And I was like, damn, I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, it always goes that way, especially like with I lost two clients this week, and you're not gonna get everybody. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, but if I would have known, that's part of his advertisement. Because if I would have known, he knew I was leaving soon. If I would have known he was doing property management, I definitely would have went through him. Because for one, he lives 2 houses down, which would have been nice
Have
to
you already
have.
signed it?
I already signed the contract, yeah. And it's a good. My neighbor, my other neighbor, is using the same management company right now, and he's had nothing but good things to say about these people. And he's like, I don't even have to do anything. They do it all. I'm just a person in the background that keeps $350 in this account, and they send me rent every month. Like, he said, everything's good. They're very on top of communication, stuff like
You
that. So
you're gonna be able to cover your mortgage?
yeah, it covers my mortgage, with the fee, their fee included. So I mean, not too bad.
You gonna make anything?
Probably end up making about $50 a month, which is enough to cover repairs probably.
They're
But
paying your mortgage for you, and the housing market's just gonna keep going up. So
yeah,
you're whenever you sell the house, you'll make more money.
right. Hopefully, my thinking is, um, hopefully interest rates start to go down. When those interest rates go down, I'm hoping that the prices of housing actually goes way up. And then we'll play that game. If it becomes the right time to sell, then it's the right time to sell. If not, we'll just hold on to it until it is the right time to sell.
Especially if you got people paying it. I don't think you'll have any problem getting it rented out, especially in that military area.
Yeah. Because it's basically like on post housing, but it's off post because we're right there by that back gate and it's
Yeah,
all military people, which I do think is good because if they don't pay their rent, all I got to do is text their chain of command and it gets taken out of their paycheck.
that's actually pretty cool for you. Sucks for them.
Sucks for them, but I mean, they should pay their rent.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. Also, another thing I was thinking about is putting in a fence, which is going to run me at least 10 grand. Um,
Don't
you
do it.
don't think so?
No, I mean, because it'll get rented out anyway.
Okay.
And if you were selling the house, I would say
Yeah.
maybe invest that. I mean, even sell, like say you spend 10 grand on a fence, it's not going to add 10 grand in value. So
Okay.
it's never a dollar for dollar investment,
Right.
no matter what it is. It just never works out that way. It won't add any like money value, but people will be like, "Oh, this is fenced in. I
Hmm.
like." So it adds value, just not in the sense of,
Monetary.
yeah.
Okay. That's good advice. Um, Another thing I want to talk about is that shirt I made, Pat's Peeves. I think it's kind of fun. Uh,
I think it was. I like the gray. I like the white on gray.
yeah, the white on gray I think looks good. It was supposed to be Carolina blue, but I accidentally bought the wrong vinyl, and it is actually UV activated vinyl. So when you go in the sun, it turns Carolina blue.
The shirt.
No, the white letters. Obviously, this is very much the prototype for this shirt. I just wanted to see what the font and stuff would look like on the pocket. Um, some suggestions we got from friends were something needs to go on the back, which I think is good.
Podcast logo that we don't have.
Yeah, podcast logo. Drew suggested um, cartoon version of our faces.
Great idea.
Great idea. I thought that was awesome. If we could make that happen. Also, Mike suggested QR code that sends a link to the podcast, which I thought
Also
was
a great idea.
awesome. Because I mean, you don't ever see a dude walking around with the QR code just on his back. I mean, I'd scan it.
I actually did see one, like a guy, yeah, Mike sent me it. It's a QR code on the back of a guy's jacket or hoodie or whatever, and then it's just Trump doing that like dance.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
Um, yeah, I think QR code's a great idea. Cartoon or like animated, whatever, caricatures of us, great idea. Shit, maybe both.
Maybe both, but if we do that, I'm not going to be able to make it. Sam's not going to be able to make it with the things she has, so we'll have to go through some kind of company, which is not the end of the world, but it will cost more to make. Therefore, if we wanted to get them to people, it would be a more expensive T-shirt.
Yeah, it's
Because
not like we're
what?
trying to make money on a t-shirt, but just people pay for the t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I don't have a problem, you know, buying 10 T-shirts and paying for the vinyl to put on 10 T-shirts and sending them to our friends. That's fine. But if it's, you know, a $5 t-shirt or we go through a company that costs me more money, I don't know. It's one of those things because I can't really expect people to go out and buy a t-shirt about a podcast that no one really listened to. You know what I'm saying?
This will be our form of advertising, though.
It will, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we'll do some thinking on that. But yeah, that's kind of lives of recent. What we got coming up?
I am taking a trip to Orlando, Universal Studios, with Marissa and her mom, and then we're gonna meet Mike down there. He's gonna meet us at the park.
Mhm.
His cousin works somehow for Universal. I don't know if he works in the hotels or if he's a Universal employee, and but he got us a discount on our hotels. So that was pretty sick. And then we're going to be there a Tuesday and a Wednesday, leaving Thursday, but we're not leaving till 6 p.m. And we're getting in at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. So 3 full days, basically.
Nice, that'll be awesome. And that'll be good, like to go during the week. I think it'll make things cheaper, less crowds.
Yeah, and I've never been. I've never done Universal or Disney. And Marissa didn't, uh, for the amount of time we're going to be there, from what I've heard, Universal is the better option. If we got like only like 3 days, Universal is better, like more bang for your buck. We're going to do like the Harry Potter parks, Harry Potter World, probably get a wand.
When's that? When are you doing that?
Not this coming week, the week after that.
Okay. Nice. That'll be fun. Um, yeah, it'll be nice to have Mike there. He can kind of tell you the places that you must go, like the must sees kind of deal. Because everything down there is probably fun. You can have a good time wherever, but he'll probably have some good insight on where to go. That'll be awesome.
It'll be nice to have a seasoned vet. 'Cause,
Seasoned vet. He is a seasoned vet. I swear he's always there. I mean, I would be too if I lived there.
I think I don't know if he has, I know he has the year pass to Disney. I don't know if he has that for Universal as well. But I mean, we're flying blind. I mean,
Yeah.
Marissa went there when she was a kid. I actually think she still has a wand
Wow.
the first time she went.
That's vintage at this point.
Yeah, I think Mike was telling me that you can get like two types, like one that's just like a literal one, and then there's one that's a little more expensive where you can like interact with stuff at the park,
That's pretty cool.
which I'm fucking doing that because why not?
Rich Tyler need to sell a house, go down there and buy a wand.
I owe $5,000 on my taxes. Thanks, government.
Yikes. I'm getting about $5,000 on my taxes.
Getting?
Getting, yeah.
You're such a cuck. You don't even work. You're home at like 11 every day. You don't deserve 5 grand back on you. You're a piece of shit.
Oh man, yeah. So we funded our entire Europe trip from tax returns.
You're a jerk off. I'm having to not do anything for months. Thankfully, I already paid for this trip to Orlando. So otherwise, we wouldn't be fucking going.
Yeah.
And it's my cousin Michael turned 30 the other day, and he's doing, big birthday bash in Atlantic City, and he invited me, and I wanted to go, and I don't have the money, and my aunt is just like, "I'll pay for your ticket," and I'm like, "Thank God."
When's that?
End of March.
Okay, that'll be fun.
It's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which just happens to be my off days from work, so I don't have to take off work either.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Direct flight from Myrtle Beach to AC.
Damn. Ain't
120 bucks
120 bucks direct flight. Is that round trip?
round trip.
Jesus Christ, you cannot get a better deal than that.
Yeah.
Because flights are expensive these days.
And I'm getting my flight paid for,
Yeah, which is the cheap part.
which is and no hotel room. I don't have to pay for a hotel room
Okay. Okay.
because
Cool.
they got like their shit comped because Sunday,
True.
Monday, Tuesday, they were able to get them comped. So basically a free trip other than, the money that hopefully I don't lose.
Oh yeah, you can't go into the mindset with there's even an option of losing money.
Yeah.
You're gonna go there and you're gonna end up getting your taxes paid for.
God damn right. Just like our founding fathers intended.
Exactly.
Owe thousands of dollars, but get a free trip to Atlantic City to get it all paid for.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I call putting all the fucking eggs in a basket right there.
Eggs are too expensive, buddy. I just have a basket.
All right, well, let's transition.
Anyway.
Let's do athlete segment. And my understanding is it is your turn, so you have an athlete in your head.
Yep. 3 hints. Do you have
Mhm.
beer or? Oh, wait, it's me.
It's you, my friend.
I have beer here.
That's
I'm
good.
not, I'm not drinking, so that kind of sucks. So I guess I'll I'm gonna continue not drinking. What I'll do is, if you get it right, I have these really sweet pina colada non-alcoholic drinks that's actually probably worse for you than an actual beer. So I'll shotgun one of those if you get it right on the first try.
All right, I like it.
Okay. Oh man, I had it. I had a hint, but I'm not doing that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I Candy gave you Mac McClung last week.
Okay. All right. Strikeout, Hall of Fame, Seattle.
Seattle Hall of Fame strikeout. Okay. So and these aren't questions, it's just me my process. It's obviously baseball. I'm assuming recent Hall of Fame inductee. I think you want me to think Ken Griffey, but I'm gonna go Ichiro.
No, no, no.
No, okay. Um, Seattle Hall of Fame strikeout. So it's baseball. Obviously, played for Seattle. Is that the most notable team?
He was with them the longest. I don't. mm, He was with them the longest, but you might not remember him on that team. I wouldn't. For me, that wouldn't be the team I remember him playing for.
Interesting. Um, okay, how many teams?
6 teams,
Jesus Christ.
but he played for one of them twice. So still 6 individual teams, but 7 transactions.
Okay, was he ever an MVP?
He was a World Series MVP.
World Series MVP. Was it a pitcher?
It was a pitcher. He's got 5 Cy Young awards.
5 Cy Youngs. Oh my goodness. I don't know baseball like this. Um, he
You
play for
know this guy for sure.
did he ever play for the Yankees?
Yes, from 2005 and 2006.
Just those 2 years?
Hmm.
And he was a pitcher.
Yeah, he's not remembered for being a Yankee.
Not remember for being a Yankee. Um, white guy, black guy,
White guy.
white pitcher, Seattle. So I'm trying to figure out where Seattle comes in if he's not most notably remembered for his time in the Mariners.
For me, for me,
Okay. But for a lot of people, it's Seattle was the big team.
he played for Seattle for 9 years.
Righty, lefty,
Lefty.
lefty. Um, lefty pitcher. I don't know, dude. Um, is his first name the same as my first name?
Are you Googling stuff?
No.
I heard typing on the computer.
Oh, I'm in my notes section.
Yes, it is the first. You do share the first name.
So lefty Hall of Fame has got to be fucking Randy Johnson.
The big unit.
Big unit. Yeah,
Who who
I was on
apparently played 2 years on USC's basketball team also, but I could not find any stats. It's from him, from his mouth. He said that in a quote,
really.
but I can't find numbers on it. So maybe he didn't play and he was just on the team.
Diamondbacks was the hint, and I get that one.
That's why I said Seattle. I remember him being a Diamondback.
You piece of shit. That's cheating.
So he played for the Expos, the Expos for 1 year, or for 2 years, the Mariners for 9, Houston for half a season, the Diamondbacks, where he won World Series MVP and a World Series. Then the Yankees came back to the Diamondbacks and finished his career with the Giants. 10-time All-Star, 5-time Cy Young Award winner, 4-time ERA leader, 9-time strikeout leader, second most strikeouts all time with 4,875.
And one-time bird exploder.
Yes. I
If you
remember
just
this.
said bird, bird
You
would have
know,
gave it away too.
this sports science episode where they tried to recreate that with a chicken, like where
Yeah.
they couldn't do it.
Still can't believe that happened.
All right,
Yeah.
well, that's a good segue into our first break.
Nothing happened.
What do you mean?
Like it was just silent and dark.
You didn't hear anything?
I heard nothing.
You didn't hear me going like this?
I heard something. It sounded like you burped right before you're going to talk, but it was like very, very quiet.
Well, that was the commercial, folks.
Well, let's just wait and start it again, or do you just want to keep rolling?
Just keep rolling, dude. This is
Fuck
what
it.
the fuck, dude. None of this shit matters.
That's
Keep it pushing,
that's
gang.
a great fucking attitude.
How are we
You
gonna
know,
sell t-shirts with that attitude?
we're not. That's the problem. All right, so jumping in, I want to talk a little about this challenge with food.
Let me pull up my numbers.
All right.
So it's a little skewed because I split the numbers as if it were just me, as opposed to the total spent for me and Marissa.
Right. And it's hard because it's not a definite number, especially with the grocery store. That does get hard.
Yeah.
So after you talk your numbers, I'll talk my numbers from this week at the grocery store, and we'll do a little comparison, like a breakdown of how much it's going to cost per meal, and how many meals you really get out of it.
Okay. Trying to use fucking Excel function, but it's gonna take too long. So I'm just gonna add these numbers up real quick.
Yeah, that's cool. So I'll just give a little context for those that may not have listened to the last episode. Um, Basically, I did a challenge for Tyler to track all he eats and what he spends on it for a regular week, whether it be eating out, um, going to the grocery store, making food at home, whatever, and then for the follow-on week to try and eat as many meals as he could from the grocery store and at home, and then see the price comparison. So, let's hear those numbers.
84.50.
Okay, it's pretty good.
So also I get some of the meals are free that I have because I eat lunch at work.
That's fair. I mean, it's part of it, so that works.
Uh, yeah, I mean my biggest expense was Jimmy John's I had on Friday, like for one meal,
Hmm.
was $15. I had a meal on Thursday that was $13. A meal on Tuesday that was $14. But a lot of it is coffee. I had coffee 4 days out of the week, it was 350 each. Bacon, egg, and cheese Monday and Tuesday because I'm off work. That's $6 each. A smoothie on Monday, 850. Tuesday, I had 3 Uncrustables. So I just did that like it was like $7 for a 6 pack. So I just did those as $1 each, which I feel like is how I'll do it for this coming week. I'll just kind of do like a per unit price for the meals. So it's instead of just doing like say if I spent $100 at the grocery store, but I only ate $15 worth of it, whatever the number is. I feel like that'd be the best way to get a real cost analysis.
Hmm.
Thursday I had a protein bar and some chalky milk. Wednesday I didn't spend any money other than a Gatorade and a bag of chips. Because that was
Nice.
I ate everything at work on Wednesday.
Okay, and that $84 is everything that you ate out, correct? So it's not including that, you maybe made dinner one night or what you ate for breakfast one day that you already had at your house.
No, that's everything.
That's everything. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Um,
some of it I ate at home. Like Monday, I had Indian leftovers for dinner.
yeah.
I just put that in there as a zero
Yeah.
because it's from the week before. Like I ate it on Monday, but we bought it on Friday, so I didn't know how to.
Yeah, I mean, in the big scheme of things, that doesn't matter too much. I just kind of wanted to see like where you were at and what you're spending generally on a week of food. Um, for me and Sam, we went to the grocery store today. I cut out a few things from the grocery bill, like trash bags and things like that, face wash that we're not actually eating. But this is stuff to make us breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week because really the only time we eat out is if we're getting like an appetizer, if we're going to grab drinks somewhere. We're really trying to be good about eating food at home. So even if we do go out, we'll just like get drinks out and then come back and eat at home because Sam's on like a bit of a health kick. So she's doing the whole calorie counting thing. And I know we talked about how much calories I'm eating a week, so I'm trying to kind of be on a schedule as well. Um, but just food, our grocery bill is 122, um, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I didn't include Sam's breakfast or lunch, but I did so breakfast, lunch, and then two dinners for me and Sam, obviously. So 7 days a week. If I don't include her breakfast and lunch, that's 438 per meal. Um, and I'm eating like over 3,000 calories a day. So it's a good amount of food. Um, so I just kind of wanted to do a price. I'm honestly with your 84, that was a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
You got to
Um,
think it's just me. It's not household.
that's true.
Household double that. It's closer to 200.
That's true. Still not too bad.
Yeah,
Still not too bad.
and
Um,
not truthfully not drinking, and also it's Monday through Friday. That's 5 days.
true, true.
So Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday it's a little harder because
Yeah.
you're wanting to go out, you're wanting to do a thing, which is totally like a normal thing to do. Um, but yeah, so are you gonna try and do the eat at home most days this week?
I'm going to do it.
Hell yeah, love it.
Yeah, I mean I like challenges anyway.
Yeah, and I think it'll be you'll see a difference in the quality of the food. So like, you go to Jimmy John's and you get a $15 sub, which is good, but it might not be like as fulfilling or healthy as what you could prepare yourself for lunch.
It's just it and the 84.50 or whatever, I would say that's probably pretty average. But if I went to the grocery store and was doing it, even if it was similar costs, it'd be nice to just know where everything's coming from.
That is true.
Like how
Um,
much, sodium, whatever levels I'm doing, I can like keep that in check.
right.
Uh, if I have a sandwich at home, I'll put mayonnaise on motherfucker. But I can control everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Sam has this app that she uses in a food scale. So she'll scan the QR code on the back of the food, then she'll weigh it and it tells her exactly what's going into the bowl that she's putting in. Um, so she like knows to a T all the macros that are going in each meal and she keeps track and she has a target for what she tries to hit each day. I
I
basically
like that
just,
scale.
huh?
I like those like scale. Like I guess it's like hooked up to her phone.
Yeah, it's connected to her phone exactly.
Yeah, those scales are really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's been good for her because you know scientifically you can't lose weight unless you're in a calorie deficit. And it's hard to be in a calorie deficit is for one, you don't know how many calories you're burning each day. But for two, if you're just kind of guessing how many calories are in each meal you have, because sure, you go to Jimmy John's and you can get a rough idea of how many calories are in that, but all in all, you don't really know because how much mayonnaise are they actually putting in there? What's what do they put oil and vinegar on there? I'm sure you get that. because you're an oil and vinegar guy.
Listen, I'm getting a turkey tom.
Yep.
It comes with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. I don't add cheese. I don't really get cheese on my sandwiches.
Hmm.
Um, then I'm gonna add oil and vinegar, onions, and Jimmy peppers, which is basically like hot peppers.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I do red pepper flakes. If
Okay.
I'm feeling like being in pain later,
Yeah.
I'll make it really spicy. But I don't ever add cheese unless I'm at Subway because I like the way they toast it at Subway.
Yeah.
But at Subway, I'm getting as far as sauce, I'm getting Chipotle.
Got to.
And yeah, like honestly, if you don't get Chipotle at Subway, you're probably a fucking loser. I guess unless you get like a meatball sub.
No, you still get. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just a little extra Chipotle on my meatball sub, please, man. Yeah, salt and
Okay.
pepper. Oh, that I'm glad I said salt and pepper because I asked for salt and pepper. I got a different sandwich at Jimmy John's on Friday, and I asked for salt and pepper, and they said, well, originally I asked for mustard, a gray Poupon mustard, which is like a Dijon mustard, and they said that comes in packets. Is that okay? And I was like, I don't want that. I'll have Jimmy mustard, which I assumed was like kind of like a spicy brown mustard.
Hmm.
They said we don't have Jimmy mustard anymore. Like it was discontinued. In my head, I'm like, okay, well, why don't you take it off the fucking menu outside? And then they had yellow mustard, which is my least favorite kind of mustard, but I was like, okay, put it on there. And then I asked for salt and pepper, and they said that's in packets. Is that okay? No, it's not okay. You work us cut the fucking package open, put it on my sandwich. That's my pet peeve. It's early, but
It's early, but Pat Scott's peeves. Uh, sometimes they need to be aired out.
I mean, like, it's like you go to a place and they're like, "Can I get ketchup?" And then we have ketchup packets. Okay, take some scissors and cut the goddamn cut the packet open and put it on my sandwich. Like, what are you getting paid for, bro?
Yeah,
Just put
like
my sauce on my sandwich.
yeah, like I'm about to go back to work. I got 10 minutes to eat this motherfucker. I don't got time to be cutting. And then I gotta find the tops of ketchup packets in my cup holders for the next week.
And I can't put it on there as good as you, man. You're a sandwich professional. I can't get the perfect spread with the packet.
Yeah, what are you gonna dip your fucking turkey tom in ketchup? You're there, you got the paper just sitting on your lap. You're dipping your turkey tom in ketchup.
Every time I get Jimmy John's, I'm like a fucking slob because the sandwich is so wet. It's just like dripping on my work shirt.
Yeah.
Good times.
You go in there, the fish are sniffing you.
Fish don't have noses. I don't even know if that's true. I just said that confidently. That's probably not accurate. They
You're
have
the
nose
fish guy,
holes.
man.
They have nose holes.
So in theory, they have noses.
They don't have like cartilage
I
like
mean,
nose.
what's a nose hole on?
It's head. Like
It's
it's
on your
like
fucking nose, bro.
no, but they don't. I can't. It's hard to explain it to a non-fishmonger.
Yeah, right.
I'll have
Might,
Wes call in and
yeah, we might need to get an expert on because I need to know if fish actually have noses or not. Because if they have nose holes, then in theory, a nose hole is on a nose.
I'm gonna try something right now that we've never done before.
You calling them?
I'm gonna go live call.
Fucking, we got the expert on the line. Do not disturb. I swear to God.
It did go straight to his voicemail.
Wes is the most annoying person with do not disturb I've ever met in my whole life. You got to double call him every time you call
He said, "What's up? Can't talk." Okay, well, he's not going to be on. You know what? That segment's canceled.
him. That's we can't have any experts on. How are we supposed to sell t-shirts?
Can't even get the goddamn fishmongering expert on the shit.
We just we just had an opportunity to have an
Hold on, he's calling me back.
oh shit, the expert's on the line.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you dying?
No, I'm not dying. I was just calling you on the pod. I have a quick question.
Uh,
Fish have nose?
Does a fish have a nose? Oh, no. Yeah. I want to film them. Oh, well, how does it know that? I don't know.
Teresa,
I
hello.
don't think so.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Me and Trey were talking and we couldn't figure out if fish have noses or not.
They say no.
Yeah, they just have a little nose hole.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a nose. It's not a hinge on their face.
Tell Wes I have a question for him.
Trey has a question for you.
What is a nose hole on?
What? The
What
face?
is
The face of the fish?
The nose hole's on a nose, bro.
Yeah, that's sorry. I don't know how I thought this was gonna go, but thank you for answering and calling me back. Allie just was screaming. This is so stupid in the background. Thankfully, Wes. Well, we got Teresa on the pod, so it's good to have her.
That's
Love
good, and a guest appearance from Wes's wife too.
Yeah, me and her were talking about the pod, and she was like, I love that you guys are doing this because we were talking about Corey and how like creative his uh championship speech thing was.
Yeah,
Me and Marissa had lunch with him today, and she was like, "That's so great." And I was saying, "Yeah, Corey, I think should do a YouTube channel." And she was like, "Yeah, I really like what you guys are doing with the pod, but if I hear one more basketball statistic, I'll kill myself." So she don't listen,
yeah.
but she
There's a
appreciates what we're doing.
yeah. I don't blame her for not listening.
I do a little bit.
Maybe we'll get her a T-shirt.
She'll wear a T-shirt.
Yeah, she'll probably cover up Pat's peeves in the front pocket, but God forbid if it has her face on the back.
Oh yeah, she won't wear it with her face. She'll wear it if it's just Pat Peeve, and then
Listen, I will say marketing opportunity. She wears a QR code on her back at the dive.
I think it'd be more of a marketing opportunity if it was on her chest. Boom, roast.
Ooh, you're probably right.
People are sick in Carolina Beach.
Yeah, they are. All right. Well, let's move on. We were going to do a draft and we bounced around some ideas. I think we talked about best people with the names Trey or Tyler. We talked about best French fries and we talked about best cars, or our favorite cars that people in the friend group have had. And we honestly did not prepare. So we could do one of two things. We could send it with a draft with us not being prepared at all, or we could save the draft for next week. What do you think?
Well, you know how I do things.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have prepared either way.
I think
All
it'd be good to get you on the fly.
I'm not a good on the fly guy. It's not how I operate, but um, I think we've done fries before.
We did something where French fries played a major part.
Yeah, because we were talking about Wendy's being dipped in Frosties, Wendy's fries and Frosties.
Yeah.
Let's go cars in the friend group. We don't have to do the traditional draft where we each alternate picks. Let's just talk about some of our favorite cars people in the friend group have had. I'm gonna start off and go Mike's Red Expedition.
Did you ever drive it?
I never drove it, no.
When he moved to Florida, I had to drive it for him to maybe get a new battery. I had to do something for him when he wasn't here. And the steering wheel on the car was one of those, when they get old, they
Yeah,
get like super sticky.
yeah,
And you could not drive that car without your hands being completely like covered in like black soot.
yeah. No, I know the feeling. My Jeep did that towards the end. If I drove that thing right now, I'd probably be the same way with my hands being completely black.
Yeah. Um I'm gonna go Corey Grand Prix.
Yeah, so that was on my list. Definitely was thinking about that one.
A lot of good memories in that car, man.
Yeah.
I had one time he had like a big like in the front of the car. And there's the coin thing where you put fucking coins. The coin thing. I picked 107 pennies out of there and went into McDonald's to buy a McChicken.
That's called struggle, my friends.
And the girl didn't even take the money. She said, "Don't worry about it."
We need
Gave
more people
me,
like that in the world.
gave me a free McChicken.
Hell yeah, it was probably a dank ass McChicken. Probably oozing with mayo.
You know how I like it, baby.
um, okay, I'm gonna go Wes's OG Mustang.
One of the smaller Roush engines.
Yeah, but I like the way that one looked.
That was a great car, man.
We just had, I think, more so than the car, the memories of the car.
I think you and Mike held me down in the back seat and tickled me till I pissed.
Yeah, I'd say that probably happened. um, Also, I just remember, for some reason, I have a vivid memory of Lil Wayne's Red Nation just being played at absolute top volume in the backseat of that car.
That that was the worst possible car because we always had 5 people and there was no middle back seat. It was like a
Yeah,
hump.
yeah, you're just in there. You're the skier if you're in the middle.
And that was when I was smaller.
Yeah, so you were the
I
skier.
had to I had to sit middle a lot. Now
Yeah. Um, yeah, that was a great memories. It's just a great time of life.
I got one. Drew's Honda.
Wow,
I just
that's throwing it back.
he drove me home in that for me to lose my virginity.
Wow.
So
Core memories. And it was obviously awful. It was obviously terrible because it wasn't Marissa.
it was not Marissa. Uh,
So just overall awful experience.
you know, anytime I've had intercourse when she's not been involved, it was not great. I mean, it was good for the woman, but it wasn't good for me because I knew that wasn't my wife.
Right, exactly.
But they were enjoying themselves
Of course.
naturally. How,
Naturally, yeah.
how could you not? That took a turn.
It did take a turn. Okay. So you were Drew's Honda. Just writing these down so I don't repeat. I was gonna pick one of Drew's cars as well, but I was leaning towards Drew's Forerunner.
Oh, I have a good memory in that car too.
Well, my memory of that car is when we were doing the I can't remember the Vine viral
Drive by
Vine
drive by dunk challenge.
drive by dunk challenge, and Wes uh, threw a two seam. Or was that Wes or was that
No,
me?
no, it was Wes.
It was Wes, and
He
he
broke the
broke
like
off the window thing.
yeah, that was a good one. That challenge was fun.
That
You remember you remember when we went to that little elementary school, kind of by the college, and then Drew hopped the fence and then he got hung on like the 8 foot rim.
I do. I think there's a video of that somewhere.
Oh, I love that. Good times.
The goodest of times.
I'm gonna say the OG Jeep, not your like burgundy one, like the OG one.
The OG one that had blue doors.
And I remember us driving to a tournament at UNCW in it and burning my feet because I like wouldn't put my basketball shoes on.
Yeah.
We got in the gym and just like because there's no like the floorboard got so hot
Yep.
and you turn on the AC and like mud would come out.
Yeah, that was a hell of a first vehicle. That probably should not have been driven more than 5 miles a day.
Yeah, that car was a piece of shit.
I think that was the design by why my dad got me that car, is so I didn't drive it.
Yeah, I could see him doing something like that.
I think he was like, he can't speed in this thing because it barely goes 45 miles an hour. And he literally can't drive it because it will break down if you go too far. um, I'm gonna take your the baby blue Explorer.
I loved that car, man.
I think that was pretty iconic.
I love that car. That's the car that out of all the cars I've had, because this is my fifth car, that felt like the most me was that Explorer.
Yeah.
Tossing the fucking lawnmower in the back.
Yep.
Oh man, me and Marissa went to New York when we had been dating maybe a year or two, and I threw a bag of trash in the back of the Explorer to like drive it to the dumpster. But we ended up going somewhere in her car, and I forgot about it. I left it in the back of my car for a week, and it smelled foul back there.
Yeah, maybe that was the start of you just being the trash man.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that was the worst one, but it wasn't. The next two cars got progressively worse.
With the trash?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I can't even think of the fucking nickname to call it, but
the Cavi.
the Cavi, the orange spaceship, uh, that was fucking crazy with the trash.
The car after that was worse. Like the Mercury Mariner that my mom gave me.
Yeah, I think I may have been relatively gone for
Yeah,
that period of time.
you were because I had that car when we moved in here to this house.
Yeah.
So uh
I remember
you're
a funny video, or not a video, I guess it was a video, but us being at Clear Run and it being pouring down rain. And I think me and Wes were outside and your windows were down. And it's just absolutely pouring into your car, and there's just a mound of trash. Oh man.
that car was crazy. You didn't even need a key to start it. Like
Yeah.
you go in there and crank it. Like Austin tells me that him and Bryce came over one time and he was like, "Yo, check this out." And he just hopped in my car and he stole my car. Is what he did. He stole my car and just like they drove around in it for a while and he brought it back. Never told me about it till after I'd sold the car.
Probably years later. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. They
That
probably
was
thought they were so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, they did for sure. Trying to think what other like iconic cars are like great memories I have in cars. I remember we went to a club tournament in Raleigh in Wes's Jeep.
Yep.
I think it was us and Jake,
Yep.
three of us and Jake, and then you guys hotboxed it and I drove back on I-40 25 miles an hour riding the middle lane.
Yeah, hot box with tobacco. Let's just clarify.
What else can you hotbox with?
Exactly. Yeah.
I had a nicotine high from hell.
Yep.
I could bleep it out.
I know, I don't care. It was tobacco. There's nothing
Yeah,
but
why would you
we
care?
were
Why would
just
you care about tobacco?
we were just chain smoking cigarettes in the car with the windows rolled up.
Yeah, like any good guinea would. What other car?
I have a good memory of Wes's other Mustang. I don't know if it was the one he got right after, but it was the black one. And we went to the J. Cole concert. It was me, Sam, him, and Allie. And we were listening to all J. Cole's music on the way there because we were going to a concert. And Sammy was in the back seat, and that car specifically had like a really loud bass system, and she had the meanest headache when we were just driving up to Raleigh, or I guess it was Charlotte where we went for that concert actually. But yeah, I don't think Wes and Allie ever knew that she was actually suffering down there. I think I asked to turn the volume down like 4 times.
I don't have any memories of that car really. And then there was the Challenger or Camaro.
Yeah, dude, I think that might have been after my time as well, but I don't really
No,
remember.
that was before the other Mustang.
Oh, was it?
That was Mill Creek time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, well, let's jump off cars and let's move into a little sports talk. So this is the time Allie logs off because we know she listens to the first 15 minutes of every podcast.
We appreciate that.
And she hears sports and she logs off, which, whatever. One thing I want to talk is I was going to talk UNC's chances to make the tournament, which I guess we can talk a little bit. They have 4 more games. At FSU, at home versus Miami, at Virginia Tech, and at home versus Duke. We really need to win 3 out of 4, and we have to keep the game close with Duke. And then we got to, I think, at least advance to the quarterfinals in the ACC tournament at a minimum. Which, the chances of all that happening are pretty slim based on the way we've played. But I think we've played pretty good our last 3 games. They've been against dog shit teams. So, we'll kind of see how it goes. But outlook not looking good.
I don't think you guys make the tournament unless you win the ACC and make it to the ACC finals.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening.
Not looking good.
You guys really just fucking suck ass.
We do.
And you guys beat us. So, I mean, we got no shot. The ACC overall is dog shit this year.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about the ACC a little bit. There's some conference realignment things that are happening, and UNC is actually wanting to leave the ACC, which I do not like. Do not like it at all. But basically, the reason for it is that right now they don't have enough money to distribute between multiple types of programs, and we just get Belichick, who's had to have been promised a lot of money in NIL and all those things, or he wouldn't have came to the school if he wasn't promised that. So I think there's a lot of pressure on the athletic association to give him that money while also trying to be competitive in basketball, baseball, etc. So I think we're trying too hard to be an everything school when we're a basketball school.
Yeah, no, you're definitely a basketball school.
That's what it is. That's what ACC schools are. We're basketball schools. It's a basketball conference. The thing is, it's all about money. I mean, the ACC gives $40 million a year to schools that are in the conference. The SEC gives $70 million a year. So, I mean, it's 30 extra million dollars. It's almost double of what we're getting. Not to mention that the added revenue of when a team in the conference gets to the college football playoff, the money that gets distributed through the athletic conference. Like, that's just extra.
So so what you're telling me right now is the ACC gives each school $40 million
to be in the conference, whether that's probably mostly through TV deals.
Okay. That does not include the endowment they get from their alumni.
No.
That's bullshit that Chapel Hill can't make that amount of money work.
I'm with you.
That's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of fucking money, but it's not 70 million.
And what do you want to go to the SEC for, so you can never win a fucking football game again?
That's what I'm saying, man. We're going to go to the SEC. We're going to be just as good. Honestly, Vanderbilt's going to beat us every year in football, and we're going to be the laughingstock of the SEC.
And the SEC are not slouches in basketball anymore either.
No, and that is because they're getting all this money that they can distribute to all the programs.
Good for them. 40 million is enough.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is
Carolina is ACC school.
Literally Atlantic coast.
This is the way I felt when the Big East blew up. Syracuse still doesn't feel like an ACC school.
No.
We're not even on the coast of New York.
No. What this is going to turn into is the new Big East. The ACC is going to be the new Big East.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just going to have Duke, and Duke's going to win the ACC every year because they don't care about football. As they shouldn't. It's a basketball conference. They shouldn't care about football. If they have a good team, great. We did good in football this year. But nobody that's a Duke fan truly cares about how they do in football.
No, and just like nobody really gave a shit about Syracuse being good at football either.
No, I mean, it happens great. Like, sick, we're good at football, cool. But, like, it's basketball.
As it should be.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to have, like, a world where Carolina is good at football and basketball. But
apparently $40 million isn't enough for that.
Apparently not. I worry about honestly, what I worry about more than anything is the Duke Carolina rivalry.
They would have to work in something where you guys play each other at least once a year.
Yeah, but it won't be the
That
same.
doesn't feel the same.
It won't be the same. It won't be that same because Duke Carolina happens on rivalry week and we play twice in the heat of conference battle. Um, and that won't happen anymore. It'll have to be a non-conference game when both teams aren't at their best. And it's going to be like Carolina playing Kansas. Like, sure, it'll be a good game, but it's not going to be the same. There's not going to be the same implications. It's going to suck. And like, honestly, Carolina in the SEC doesn't feel like the same Carolina.
I hope it doesn't happen for your sake because I haven't liked Syracuse being in the ACC for 1 second. I mean, we've had good teams,
Yeah.
but there was something different about Big East basketball back then. And you had the argument, Big East, ACC. And those were the two big basketball conferences, and they destroyed the Big East.
Yeah, they destroyed it.
And they're going to destroy the ACC too. So
Yeah,
hopefully not. Hopefully not.
hopefully not. But on a lighter note, some NBA, the Lakers beat the Nuggets. I think that was big. Sure, it was just a regular season game, but Luka, Braun, and Reeves all played good together. Which I mean, that is a test. I know it's a regular season game and all, but that kind of shows you that it might be able to work.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even going to talk about that game. I was going to talk about Braun versus the Trailblazers when that motherfucker scored 40.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick. And I will say he did get fouled with like not that much time remaining. He had 38 and he needed the 2 free throws. I cannot believe he made the 2 free throws. Like, cannot believe he made the 2 free throws.
And I know we're both Braun sexuals.
Yeah.
But if you can't appreciate what he's doing at this stage of his career, then you're just a fucking hater, dude.
You're just a hater. You're an MJ fan if you can't.
And you know who we're talking to.
Yep. There's one person specifically. He knows who he is.
I saw something the other day where it ranked freshman seasons, college freshman seasons all time. And they had Anthony Davis 1, Carmelo 2, and Michael Jordan at 3, which is the absolute most absurd glazing I've ever seen in my life. He averaged 13 points a game his freshman year. He did hit a game winner in a national championship game, but he did not have the third best freshman season of anybody in college basketball history.
Yeah,
Absolutely outrageous.
I mean, John Wall is definitely over that.
He didn't get any award nominations.
Yeah. I mean, he did hit the game-winning shot in the national championship, but that
He
was
wasn't even
when
on that team.
that was no, he wasn't. That was when Michael Jordan was born. Was that
Yeah.
shot? He was Mike Jordan before nobody knew who he was, and then that's when he became Michael Jordan.
And you can make the argument that is the most important shot in basketball history.
Could be.
But that doesn't mean he had the third best freshman season of anybody in basketball history.
All right, before we go to a commercial, let's talk about fantasy real quick. Where you at?
I'm absolutely dip flipping and frying Mickey Mike Jank. I'm trying to steam into the fucking playoffs, bro. I'm up by like 400.
Yeah. 1148 to Mike's 855.
It was closer than I thought it was.
Still not close. I am in a battle with Phil right now. And we're competing for the worst team in the league. I am 3-13 versus his 4-12, and we're neck and neck right now going into the crunch time of Sunday night. So we'll see where that goes.
If you can crawl your way out of last place,
that'd be big. Yeah, because I started the season bad.
I feel bad for Phil because one, he drafted Wemby number 1 overall, and he's had a great year.
Yeah.
But not Jokic. And Wemby is out the rest of the year with deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, well, let's bounce into part 3 and do another commercial break. Do you work long hours and hate your job and want to be off work on a Tuesday at 11 a.m. before lunch, well, I got news for you. The U.S. Army is hiring. I can get you a job. No sweat off my back. It'll be easy. Hit me up.
And we're back. Have you ever thought about being a recruiter?
No.
Lying to all those young men about all the things the military can do for you when they're just gonna go off to war to be torn to shred by Vladimir Putin's war dogs.
So for one, that's why we need good recruiters, because that is absolutely not what the military is like. Sure, you might go to war, but there's so many different things that you can do in the army versus just being a grunt that goes and fights on the front lines.
Is there a way you can sign up and have zero chance of fighting in a war?
Yes,
They don't put that on the commercials.
they don't. And honestly, you know, they probably don't want to advertise that because it's not really like where we want to go in our army, but we probably get a lot more people recruited.
Yeah, like if you just like had a bunch of dudes up there coding and shit, like it would probably be
I
higher.
mean, yeah, you got to, most of the people that want that don't score high enough on their ASVAB test. So,
All right, dude, enough with the jargon. I don't know what the ASFAB is.
oh, it's the entrance exam to see what jobs you qualify for, basically. The
If I,
dumber you are, the more likely you are to be on the front lines.
well, that's the way it's been throughout history.
Right.
You send the big dub ones up front.
In theory. Um, all right, but let's pop into some random cues. Random cues, not Syracuse, but random questions. So my first question for you is, this is kind of an old Google interview question that I came across. And the question is, so they'd be like interviewing you for a job essentially. And they would ask, you're the size of a nickel, you're dropped into a blender, and it turns on in 60 seconds. What do you do?
I'm the size of a nickel.
Yep.
Am I still a person?
You're still you.
I'm still a person. I have thoughts and all that.
Yep. You're just you the size of a nickel.
I think what I'll do is there's two options
Yep.
depending on the blender. Sometimes the blendy thing points straight up and there's a part on the bottom that like doesn't get hit by the blades.
Mhm.
I'd either lay flat on that, or I would jump into the center of it, where like it's usually like a black or like a plastic piece that like has the blades on the outside that spins.
Mhm.
I would just hold on to that and spin and not get chopped up with the blade. Or third option, I take my pistol out and I shoot myself in the head.
Yeah. So basically, you're just gonna sit there and wait it out and see what happens. Hopefully, you survive.
Oh, well, I've got 60 seconds. So I mean, it's not like I don't. It's not like there's a bunch of fucking time, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a place in there where the blade doesn't hit,
Okay.
because I know there's places where the blade don't hit just from my own experience making smoothies.
Yeah. So if I was the interviewer asking you that question, I would just be like, okay, you're the guy that something bad happens, and in the face of adversity, you just lay down and take whatever's coming towards you.
That's the stupidest fucking shit. That's why they don't ask that fucking question anymore. Because one, I'm not the size of a nickel, and I'm not a damn blender. And then you know what? If you said that to me as my interviewer, I'd say, "How's this for adversity?" And I'd kick you in the chest.
uh, so I was thinking, and how I'd answer the question, and you know, somebody's got to turn the blender on, right?
Yes.
So why not just like yell?
Well, I guess so, but then what are they gonna think when there's a nickel-sized man in their blender?
What
If
would you
that's
do?
if that's me, I'm turning the blender on. Get the fuck out of here, little man.
I mean, yeah, that's a way, but at least I'm going out in my bootstraps.
Yeah, and the guy who didn't say anything and survived.
Oh, well, maybe, or maybe they poured a bunch of they put some bananas and some milk and some protein powder in the back, and then you just get washed away and chopped up into pieces, and somebody's getting a few extra grams of protein.
It'd be like that sometime.
It sure do. Also, I'm a man. I'm still me. No one said that I don't have my same athletic ability. Maybe I'll just jump out.
You're a fucking idiot. You know, just proportionally, your vert is maybe at the high end 28 inches.
That's at the high end, I'd say, especially standing. But 28 inches doesn't say because I'm the size of a nickel that I lost my vert. Maybe I can still jump 28 inches.
It would be proportional.
Would it?
Well, okay, if things aren't proportional, I'm gonna punch a fucking hole through the blender.
Okay. Better answer than just laying in the bottom and hope to not get chopped up to death.
I've got some slurs that I want to call you. What's your nationality so I can figure out what slur to call you?
You know, I'm a mix of nationalities, mostly white Eastern European.
Sounds like you're a Nazi.
Wow. That's a real shot at my character right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I could call you some serious slurs.
Do it, buddy.
I could.
I'll end your military career. Actually, it won't even matter anymore. They'll probably give you a promotion. Um, that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad I figured out a little bit about who you are as an employee. I'll make sure to never hire you in one of my companies.
An issue I've had at every job I've ever worked at, including my current one, is what the fuck is it called? Issues with authority figures at every job I've had, like with people who are my bosses.
Yeah, well, that tends to cause some issues.
Hmm. I was fired from my last job, so
Was your last job?
Old Dominion.
You were fired?
Technically, I was let go.
I'm fired.
I took that all the way up the head of the leave of absence department, and I said, "What am I going to do to pay my bills?" I was on the phone with her, like I kept repeating it, and I was like, "You guys are firing me." She said, "We're letting you go, sir." And I said, "Am I supposed to tell that to the bill collectors?" And then she hung up the phone on me.
Nice.
I could have sued them for sure because I feel like I was wrongfully fired, for one, and yeah, they can suck me from the back, honestly. Anyway, what were we talking about?
It's your turn for a random question.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hmm. Have you, I guess this wouldn't, I guess this isn't technically random, but it talks about what we've talked about on the pod. I've finished one book
Hmm.
so far, and I'm almost done with my second book. Where are you at?
Yeah, so I'm slacking on the reading a little bit. I'm almost done with that same book we talked about. I should be able to finish it this week.
Circumnavigating the globe.
Yeah, it's been dragging on, and I'm trying
Well,
not to avoid
I could have told you before you picked up that book.
it.
That book was going to drag.
It's just the same thing, literally circumnavigating the same thing over and over.
I could have read the title and then the back page, like the back flap, and been like, "Oh, okay." They circumnavigated the globe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, bad choice of books because it's hard because I'm not interested in it. So I'm just reading it to read it. So
Mhm.
like there's no when I start to get just like a little sleepy at night, I'm like, yeah, I'll put it down. So I read like 10 pages, maybe probably once a week. So I'm not getting through this thing at all.
Yeah, I finished the Dead Zone, and I would give that 5 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
Or 4 out of 5. I don't like the 5-star scale. I'd give it an 89 out of 100.
Okay.
It's a good
Pretty
book.
good.
I liked it. The
Okay.
book I'm reading right now is called The Psalm for the Wild Built. It's about like a monk who meets a robot. The main character is a they them,
Mm,
which I personally don't care about, but it does make it kind of hard to read.
yeah.
Just like structurally, I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it. But I mean, it's a good book. It's a nice book. It's much lighter than the stuff I've been reading.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like 4 more books in my nightstand that I'm way more interested in reading. So every time I go in and pick out my Circumnavigating the Globe, I'm like, fuck, I wish I was reading a different book.
How many pages is the book?
Like 530.
God damn. How could you? What the fuck are they talking about?
Dude, Circumnavigating the Globe, brother.
I'm not reading it.
Yeah, I wouldn't read it. I'm not going to suggest it. We'll see. I mean, there's cool points in it when you get to certain things, but there's a lot of fluff in between. A lot of guys got scurvy.
Eat oranges.
Yeah, they didn't know that at the time. So my next question is about some language. It's in terms of spelling. So when you have to tell someone like okay, do you spell it over text okay, or do you say okay?
I'm only gonna say okay, like okay, 2 letters, if I'm like trying to prove a point that I'm annoyed. I'll always spell out the actual word.
Okay, to me, I'm with you. I always type out okay, but when I'm sending like a professional message to someone, like maybe scheduling an interview or something like that, okay just feels a little unprofessional.
Interesting.
It almost feels like I'm doing like text language, even though it is a text message, or if I'm typing out an email. I don't know. It sounds like it's not right.
Okay, AY sounds that way to you?
Yeah, it seems a little juvenile to me.
That's strange because that is the word.
Well, they're both the word. Because I came to this crossroads 3 days ago and I had to look it up because I was like, what's the actual proper term of the word? And they're both accepted forms of the word.
I wasn't prepared for that, for you to say that.
Yeah, me either. When I looked it up and I was like at a
I
crossroads.
I would think that the 2-letter version was not grammatically correct, and it was just like something that's in the lexicon.
Yeah, because that seems like more text language because it's like almost an abbreviation.
Would you capitalize the O and the K?
I don't know. I don't think normally I think I would put just capital O and then K if it was the first word of a sentence or the only word. Most of the time I try and avoid it and I'll put like all right or whatever, but like for this instance I needed to say the word okay and I was torn. I ended up saying okay, why?
That's how I would do it. Yeah, I almost exclusively use the 2-letter one if I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna actually for my next question, I'm gonna kind of piggyback same type of question. And I'm pretty sure this is not an actual word. It's just slang. But
Mm.
I how are you spelling that?
I think it very much depends on who I'm talking to because there's certain people that I absolutely would not say I to.
Sure.
Um, but generally, if I'm spelling that, I'm going AIGHT.
That for the majority of my life is the way I spelled it.
Yeah,
But recently I've been just doing IGHT.
yeah.
I feel like I with an A is more formal.
I think it's a little more formal, and I think it's a little bit more like IGHT almost sounds like I'm gonna say a slur if I pronounce it the way that.
What the hell's going on in your
I don't
brain?
know, man. That's just what I'm thinking.
You're thinking about slurs?
No, but when I tried to pronounce it how I was going to pronounce it, I was like, I can't say that.
What were you gonna say? Igot?
Yeah, basically. It doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound great. That feels like we'll have to maybe that should be bleeped out kind of thing, but
I don't
ooh,
think it. I don't think it needs to be bleeped out. I just think.
we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. Oh man, but yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going AIGHT.
That's
Or
I
what about
use
this? AITE.
I've never seen that. I've seen ITE though.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm strongly against either one of those.
Yeah, I don't like either of those either.
There's just never mind.
Yeah, probably best. Let's steer away.
Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear my.
Shit. All right, let's do Pat's peeves. Um, the segment that everybody enjoys, Pat's peeves. Um, I don't know if you can relate to this one or not, but getting the lid back on a Ben and Jerry's ice cream tub.
I can't because I always eat the whole fucking thing. Sorry, dude. Can't relate. I just eat the 2,000 calories, bro.
That's why I literally in my notes I have you don't have that problem because there's no need to put the lid back on when it's empty.
Don't talk shit about me to yourself in your notes. That is like the most disrespectful shit ever.
I literally wrote that down.
I'm
Uh,
sure you did. You're fucking psychotic.
no, I did. I'm telling you, and I got a good chuckle out of it as I was writing it.
You need therapy, dog.
No, that's therapy.
Saying, hey, I know your fat ass don't use the lid to yourself in your notes.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Finding the humor in everything.
So that's your Pat's peeve?
That's one of my Pat's peeves. Do you have another Pat's peeve, or do you want me to go with my second?
What was my first one about
Um,
the fucking, like, if they don't put the sauce on, they just tell me it's in a packet.
yeah, the packets.
I have another one, though.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's not as serious. I don't feel as strongly about it. But I don't like the new logo for the Bleacher Report app.
I don't think I've noticed it. Let me see if it's updated in my phone. I have like the worst organization of apps in my phone. It looks the same as it does for me. Maybe it hasn't updated yet.
What's it look like? What color is it?
Black with the B/R.
Is it not red at all?
No.
Yeah, on mine, it's got the same B/R in the middle, but the left side of the square is black, and then it kind of fades into red on the right side.
Oh yeah, I'm updating the app, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it like when I get the updates on my phone, like Bleach Report used to really pop,
Hmm.
and now I'm like, what is this weird app? And it's Bleach Report. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that either. I think they're trying to do too much.
Yeah, just fucking don't update stuff.
Yeah, keep it how it is. All right, my next pet peeve isn't really a Pat's peeve. Uh, but it's more of a discussion I want to talk about. You're at a bar and you want to go get a shot for yourself. This guy walked up to the bar, and me and Sam are sitting there at the bar, and he just orders a green tea shot for himself and takes it. Is that, you know, kosher, or are we thinking, you as a man have to get something a little stronger?
I don't really buy into that anyway, about as a man, you got to do these certain things. Um, but I wouldn't do that by myself. So I have mixed feelings
Yeah.
because I'm all for drinking whatever you like.
If I'm
But
going up there and I'm trying to take a shot, though,
that's a confident guy.
yeah. If I'm not doing that either. Like if I'm going to get a shot by myself at a bar, and it was not a busy bar, like it was almost like a restaurant. Um, and he just goes up and he's like, "Let me get a green tea shot," and then just slams it right there. It's not like he was getting it for somebody.
I mean, maybe he's trying to get fucked up because they'll get you fucked up.
Yeah,
Lesser known cousin of the green tea shot, the white tea shot.
never had a white tea shot.
I don't know the difference.
No, me either. But except one's green tea and one's white tea.
Isn't Sammy a bartender?
She was
You're always a bartender.
debatable.
Call her in.
If you're not tending the bar, I would say you're not a bartender.
Call her in.
No, she's making dinner.
As she should.
Yep, it's soup Sunday.
I like soup.
Yeah, it's almost like chili, but we put a lot of chicken broth in it and it's liquidy, so I call it soup.
Is it like what you sent me the other day?
It's exactly what I sent you the other day.
Yeah, that's soup.
Yeah, a lot of beans, a lot of ground turkey, some tomatoes. It's chili-esque, but it's very much a hybrid, I'd say.
It's chili ingredients for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's
Uh,
soupy.
maybe it's like a stew.
Could be a stew.
I feel like that's. I'll have to do more research.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one. I know you guys are dying to know. Um,
You know what I
but
am dying to know before you get to the quote of the day?
yeah,
Are those free cars still there?
that's a great question. Don't know, haven't driven that way.
I think it's kind of your. I'm doing this challenge. I think your challenge should be to determine the like why.
Truthfully, I don't even know if I know how to get back to that place.
You are Pat peeve right here. Pat's peeve. You are the worst with directions out of any person I've ever met.
Which is weird because like
You're reading a book about circumnavigating the world, and you don't know how to get back to something in your fucking town.
yeah, like drop me in the woods with a map and a compass and I can get you where you need to go.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
But in terms of just like getting to a place in town, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of a white tea shot. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly how my brain works. I really only need to go somewhere once or twice, and I don't need GPS ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Don't
we
ever
were
hold.
going.
Don't. What would you hold a knife up to the camera for?
No, I'm just playing with a knife.
Okay.
This is actually Mike's knife.
Why do you have? That's not legal.
Yeah, it is.
The
It's not a
switch.
It's not a switchblade.
Oh, okay.
It's not one of those you press a button and it shoots out of the top. It's like a flip. You press this little thing and then it flips up.
Oh, okay. For the viewers, it's definitely a switchblade. Um, I'm calling the police.
Um, but yeah, we were going somewhere we don't usually go, from a place we wouldn't normally start our journey from, if that makes any sense.
Dude, just go back to the place.
Yeah, maybe I'll drive past it. Not sure.
Okay. Just keep it going. Whatever. Forget it. God forbid we try and do something fun other than call me fat and work on my finances.
That's the basis of this podcast. Okay, so we're gonna try something a little new, and we're gonna do a quote of the week. I came up with the quote of the week. It's something I wrote down, and I can't remember who said it.
Wait,
It was not
I'm
me.
so this is not so just for future if this continues, I'll have the quote of the week next week,
Mhm.
and it's not something that I come up with.
It could be, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a quote that you've seen that you really like or you want to try and implement, or it's funny, or, whatever it may be.
Okay, cool.
All right, quote of the week. Everyone has a choice. You can be wildly mediocre, or you can get the fuck after it, and you make that choice every morning.
Okay, that feels kind of pointed.
It's a
feel
little
like
pointed.
I feel like it's directed at me. I didn't do
It's
anything.
it's not necessarily directed at you. It's just something I feel like we could all live by. Every time you get up out of bed, you
Don't
make
look
that
at me.
choice.
Dude. Don't look at me in the camera like
We're
that.
literally talking to each other on a Zoom call.
I don't like the way you're looking.
I don't know who else you want me to look at.
Look at your computer keyboard.
I'm looking at my computer, which just so happens to be me looking at you.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, man, you wake up every day, your alarm clock goes off, and you decide if you're gonna be mediocre. You're gonna decide if you're gonna sit in the bottom of that blender.
You're a 6-letter word that begins with F.
Or if you're gonna be a nickel-sized man and leap out of that blender.
Fuck you, man. Stupid bitch.
All right, so some closing comments. We're starting a little bit of a European food fund. So what we're doing is every time we go buy something somewhere that offers cash back, we're getting cash back out and putting it in this little coffee can. We just started a couple weeks ago, but we got $81 in cash for our European food fund. And I have 58 euros that I found from my deployment. So we're adding that into there because Portugal and Spain both use euros. So we're just going to keep doing that until we go to our trip, and then we'll exchange that, I guess, from dollars to euros and see what we get.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
I think it'd be pretty cool. Any closing comments?
My goal is to lose. It's been like 1 pound a week. My goal with eating at home is to lose 3 pounds this next week.
Okay, nice.
Be at 255.
Would that put you?
No, 245. Excuse me.
Would that give you some like wiggle room, or will that put you where you're supposed to be?
That'll put me where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. So big week. And you make that choice every single day you get out of bed, brother.
God, I can't wait to hear your stupid voice in my head when I wake up.
Yeah, I hope so. I can make a recorded message that you can set as your alarm clock if you'd like.
Oh, I have another pet peeve. Like if you call me asking me a question and then I have a question for you and you don't know and you woke me up out of a dead sleep, you better know what I'm asking you next time.
Is it something along the lines of do fish have noses?
Oh, I asked you what time you wanted to do this after you woke me up and you were like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, what was I asking you this morning?
About an apostrophe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great talk we had.
I don't even know what I said because I was like half asleep other than what time do you want to do this and you not responding.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I wasn't prepared to answer that at that point in time.
I wasn't prepared to be alive.
That can be
I was brought into this world without my consent.
As we all were. Take that up with your mother. All right now. All right, dude. Well, it's been real.
Nothing like dead air, dude. That's what the listeners want.
We love the dead air. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, that'll wrap up episode 70.
All right.
All right. See you.